you've only just began getting in touch with the future and really tapping into your own dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why has it just begun? I don't know. I think that I didn't really dream. I didn't really think about the future because I never really saw myself living this far. And not in like a suicidal way, just like I didn't put much thought into it. So I just started waking up old dreams that I had and creating dreams of what I want my future to look like very recently. And since doing that, I've been able to make a lot of those dreams become reality very quickly.
What does that look like for you?
I wrote a book. I published a book, and it came out about 3 months ago now. And that was one of the dreams that I sort of forgot I had. That was a dream that became buried in a massive pile in my brain. I forgot that I wanted to write a book. I forgot that I wanted to be a writer, and it was really freeing to re-wake up the dream and re-acknowledge that that was something that I desired inside of me. And to make it become reality was allowed me to know that you can make your dreams come true.
Where do you see it in the future?
Where do I see it or me?
You.
I think like the distant future is easier for me to see or to talk about. Like I can see more like 10, 15 years down the road. I think it's harder for me to see like 6 months to a year. So like near future, 6 months, a year, I would like to be able to live a little bit more freely and have like the financial ability to work from my computer and not be like locked into a location. And I would like to have completed my Pilates certification and be fully through my apprentice program. And I would like book 2 to be out or almost out.
What's allowed you to get in touch with that future?
A lot of like internal work, like just a lot of like sitting with my own thoughts and feelings about like where I truly want to be. A lot of like talking to you because I have a partner, and where we want to be and where we are requires like both of us to have ideas of where we want to go. And I think you were much more clear on where you want to be and exactly how you want to get there. And I was like, oh, I didn't really ever think about the future. So for me, it was a lot more contemplation, like through our relationship and through talking to you, that kind of led me there. Yeah.
So you think it's helpful to have a conscious and open communication with your partner and about your future?
Yeah, of course. I think like within the context of like your relationship, you should absolutely be talking about the future, because or else why are you together then? But I think also in terms of like individually, like it's nice to be able to talk it through with you and to like bounce ideas off of each other and like, is this a good idea for me? Is this a good idea for you? And then like, how does it relate to us? Is like a very important conversation, and like one that we've had quite a bit recently.
And it's nice to not that emotions don't get tied up in those conversations, but also regardless of the emotions coming up, that you have those conversations about the future.
And you can just like feel safe enough to like speak freely about it, you know, like even if me saying like, I don't know how much longer it's going to take for me to finish my Pilates certification may not be like something you want to hear, but like, you know, that's just me like being truthful rather than me like kind of like fibbing a little or giving a little white lie of like, oh, I'll be done in 5 months. Like, I don't know when I'm going to be done. And that's me being honest with you about what's going on rather than like hiding things. And then, then a lot of problems happen down the line.
So having a sticking by your word in it is important. Because I did think a lot about the future.
Yeah.
And I've thought about very specifics, circumstances that I like to create in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think about things often in the future. And it's helped me start stacking the habits as a 23-year-old that are going to allow me to live that life that I envision myself living when I'm 30, when I'm 40.
So where are you at right now?
Right now, I've created a business that I have the ability and freedom to get very dialed in on in one location, with being New Jersey, should I choose. And that company is Quantum Creations, and it's video production. And I could do that here. I could do that just about anywhere. Should travel opportunities arise, working on various brands and creating user-generated content and opening up projects and working with brand founders and telling their stories and such, which interests me. But recently, I've been at a place where I've been seeing how truly valuable the personal brand is and how valuable my story is, not just other people's stories. And I think that I can make much more of an impact that way right now or in the long term, sharing who I am.
Yeah.
As Corey, what I've learned, the experiences that I've had, share that in the various forms of creativity that I express through music and art and poetry and movement, videos.
Yeah.
So where I'm at right now is I'd like to cultivate as many experiences as I possibly can. As many experiences with you, travel the world, and also build something that I enjoy coming home to. Not just live out of a suitcase. I enjoy coming home to something.
Having a home.
I think for the next decade or so, while we're young, in our 20s, live.
Yeah.
Create as many opportunities and experiences and learn as much as you can and meet as many people and take as many risks while you don't have anybody depending on you.
Yeah.
And do it so that when you do have people that depend on you, you've taken every opportunity and chance that you could to create the best life for them possible.
And so that you've fulfilled the desire in yourself.
Because what would drive me insane is if I was 40 years old saying, what if I did that? What if I flew down to Mexico? What if I flew to Europe for 2 months? What if I started that business? What if I went all in on my personal brand in my 20s?
Yeah.
What if I took all those videos? What if I fell in love? You don't want to be saying that shit when you're 40.
Yeah. So you're doing it now.
So I do it now.
Yeah.
I'll do it now. And the reason I do it now is because it's easy to love what you're doing when you're young.
There's less responsibility. And we don't have children. We don't need to be home for any reason. So why not?
Why not? Go and do it.
Yeah. So right now you're kind of in the phase where you're shifting gears a bit to be more the one on camera and to be the one focusing on your personal brand.
Correct.
While still helping people grow their brands and helping cultivate videos for other brands and other companies.
It's been about finding a balance between the two. Because I do have a passion for helping people tell their story and having and working with people and building them up and interviewing people and taking videos and putting a smile on people's face when I send it to them.
Yeah.
But I've also got a passion for putting a smile on people's face when I make videos for myself.
Yeah.
And I've got a passion for helping people deepen their own self-awareness and piece together the universe in ways that they didn't think were possible. Through all these things that I've learned over the last 5 years about sacred geometry and consciousness and ancient history and philosophy and human civilization and astrology and emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And religion, all of it. And it's formed this unique philosophy on the world, which I've recently come to understand. The true name of it is perennial philosophy, which means the perennial philosophy is an understanding of the cosmos through all religions that point at one universal truth, being the one.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I feel that I've got a deep understanding of that. And I convey it in a way that I can make it make sense for people no matter what they believe in, if they're willing to get on if they're willing to listen.
Yeah. And you're doing that right now.
I'm doing that right now. This is true.
So finding the dance between the two.
Finding the dance between,
Is where you're at.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's a great spot.
It is a great spot. It's ultimately just creating all the time. It's what I love to do. And I've cultivated my life now that I do that almost all day.
That's your thing.
I'm creating all day, every day.
Yeah.
Just about. Look at us right now. We don't sit and really watch much television. We have deep conversations when we spend time together. And I draw and I journal and I write songs. I make videos for a living and I make videos for fun. And I write up business plans and brainstorm my ideas out and leave voice memos to myself and sing when it's too quiet. My whole life is just creating and consuming as well. But like they are the yin and the yang of the same coin.
Of course.
Opposite sides, the same coin. And consuming consciously though, because I've gotten so caught in consuming unconsciously over the years, which I still get caught in.
Yeah.
The mindless scroll.
It's a trap.
Unconsciously consuming television and food and surrounding yourself with people and you're unsure why and they bring your energy down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like my mindless scroll, like recently the shift has sort of been like I'll tell myself like if you want to work on a personal brand of your own, like you cannot scroll today unless you post a video for yourself. 'Cause like to consume everybody else's content, to watch everybody else's personal brand, and it's like if yours is going to the back burner because you find yourself fucking doom scrolling on Instagram, like stop. Post your video. And a lot of times it like scratches its own itch and you don't even need to scroll. So that's what I've been telling myself. Post your video before you watch other people's. Yeah.
This is true. It's the creative and the consumption, the creative and the consumer itch, the same itch.
Yeah.
It's the same itch.
It is the same itch because, like I said, like before I get on, I'm more of a TikTok than an Instagram Reels person, but before I scroll on TikTok that day, like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, well, did you post a video yet? Did you finish editing that video? If the answer is no, okay, then go edit it and go post it. Before we start filling our brain, consuming, create something.
This is...
And honestly, since doing that, I've had quite the turnaround on my account.
Yep. We see some of the most creative people also fall into some of the worst consumption habits.
Of course.
Because it is the same itch.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same...
It's on the same...
spectrum.
Yeah, spectrum.
Creation being on one side, consumption being on the other. And you see some of the best artists, musicians, and actors get caught up in drugs and alcohol and substance abuse and sex abuse, sex addiction.
Yeah.
Right? Those addictive tendencies, that feeling of the feeling of creation is such a divine feeling. It's the same feeling that some people have to fill the void with consumption when they aren't able to tap into their creative nature.
Yeah.
And something that I've been working with is finding the space in between creation and consumption. Stillness.
Yeah.
I don't need to be creating all the time. I don't need to be consuming all the time. Like, can't I sit like Mr. Buddha there?
And just
Just
smile
be?
and close your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's the part I'm really good at, maybe too good at. So I need to get a little bit more of the creative juice flowing. And you need to kind of do the opposite.
Well, my vibration is super high. Vibration manifests on every spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been super creative, but I've also been really lost in consumption.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that you can flow in creativity, you can flow in consumption. The same way that you can lose yourself in a piece of artwork and step back and say, wow, like, look what I just created. You can lose yourself in a scroll sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes and step back and be like, what that?
Yeah.
What did I just do?
Yeah.
It's the same flow. Just different
snap out of
forms.
it. Yeah.
So you are good at the sitting.
Yeah. I am.
And I envy that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yesterday we sat down to drink coffee in the morning. And I was like, in my mind, she said, come sit. When I looked at you, and all you had was a coffee. And I was like, okay. Or cacao.
Yes.
Sat down with your cacao.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat down with my cacao and I said, no book, no journal, no television, no computer. We're just gonna sit with our cacao.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna sit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get caught up in the doing.
Do. I could be doing something. I have to do more. We need to do something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think part of that is because I want to create so much in this life.
Yeah. But I think that by you having those moments of stillness, your creations are going to be so much more rewarding.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But there is that devil on my shoulder sometimes that says more. You should do more.
Yeah. You need to tell him to rest.
Yeah.
Because if you're running on the treadmill at 10 miles an hour, 10, you're just running. You're going to get a lot more tired than if you're running on 5. Right? You can go a little bit further if you're running on 5 miles an hour rather than 10. So you're going to burn out quicker.
Yeah, I've got a vision of like, just like what I want to be creating. I've got an idea of all these things that I should be creating. And right now it's the business, Quantum Creations. It's a book. It's drawing. It's asking myself questions and journaling. And it's talking to you. And it's making videos for myself. And I have all these things that I put my energy and attention into.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that sometimes I'm taking away from myself by not doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
When that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because those are agreements that I've made with myself.
Yeah.
So I guess there comes a place to make the agreement with myself that it's okay to sit quietly more often. Sip a coffee and watch the trees blow in the wind.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like the belief that you need to like work hard to be rewarded?
I've had that belief.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've gotten over that much more.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my dad used to tell me, things don't come easy for you. Like, you've always had to work harder than everybody else. And that stuck with me, that I always had to work harder than everybody else to get the same thing.
And things don't come easy for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
Yeah.
But an element of that still
lingers.
Yeah. And I worked through that. And I've changed the way that I value myself and my time, and changed the way that I see the how I show up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And see myself in the mirror.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like finding your dreams and chasing your dreams, there is a lot of stuff that comes up, like a lot of beliefs, a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of programming and subconscious programming from your childhood and from your whole life. And I think being able to work through those beliefs allows you to transcend into your dream, transcend into your whatever you want to do.
Well, living your dream isn't something that happens externally.
No.
It happens by making a decision
Mm-hmm.
internally and changing the contracts that you have with yourself.
Yeah.
Changing the beliefs and labels that you have around yourself. My whole reality changed when I started just telling myself I am the things that I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as I started telling myself, at first it comes across as delusion.
Yeah. But that's fine.
But immediately after that delusion follows the reality of those things.
And sometimes you do need to be a bit delusional.
Every single person who's created something worthwhile on this planet has been delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that anybody would call you crazy if you said, I'm going to go launch a rocket into space?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a rocket scientist and go launch a rocket into space. Look at Elon Musk. He's launching rockets into space.
Mm-hmm.
And he created a payment processing software before that. He just decided he wanted to play with rockets.
And he's doing it.
Delusional. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The most successful people on our planet, the people that create and change the world, are delusional.
Mm-hmm.
And there are sacrifices that you have to make to be delusional.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been having conversations about what those sacrifices look like.
Yeah.
Because, like, I do have crazy dreams for what I'd like to create in this life. And you're the puzzle piece that doesn't leave, as I've been saying. So it's like, how can I make these crazy dreams happen and always have you in the picture?
Yeah.
And we've been talking through that.
Mm-hmm.
But the overarching theme is that everybody's going to call you crazy when you initially say what you want to create.
Yeah.
It's easier to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to get a good job and maybe I'll make like $150,000 a year and take a pension.
Yep. Got my 401k.
Nobody's going to argue with that. That's sane. That's rational.
Mm-hmm. People ask you what your benefits look like, if you have good insurance. Fuck that.
take a 401k. No, I'm not going to take a 401k.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bet every fucking dime that I have on myself and have a dream so delusional that even if I fall halfway short, it's going to be
epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you say I'm going to impact 1 billion people on planet Earth, if you impact 500 million,
awesome.
have a dream so fucking crazy that people look at you like you are delusional.
Yeah. For sure.
And to me, it's been hard to resonate with people that don't have those ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you and I are very passionate and excited to curate a beautiful life that is so unique to us and what we want, and a bit delusional. But we're doing it, and we love that we're doing it, and we love every step of the way, and we want to talk about it because it is a little bit crazy. So to hear people on the completely other end of, oh, I just took the job and I commute to New York every day and I'm making decent money, right? Like that, we're like, no, but what feeds your soul? And do you love that? Because that's not where we're at. We're rolling the dice. We're gambling with the game of life. And we're going to fucking win.
And I can't imagine anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine not gambling with the game of life. And so much so that I'm at the point right now where I figured out that I can make a whole lot of money doing what I'm doing right now. And most people would say, you know what, let's make a whole lot of money. And I've said, you know what, I enjoy doing it, but I don't love doing it every second of my day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so delusional to the fact that I want to love what I'm doing at every moment of the day.
Yeah.
And that sounds delusional to people. Of course you're not going to love every moment of the day. You got to wipe your ass and brush your teeth. And it's like, why can't I love doing that?
Yeah.
Why can't I love sending these emails to people? Why can't I love every phone call that I hop on?
Yep.
And every person that I get the chance to shake their hand.
Yep.
And my mind has been, if I don't love every moment of it, then why would I be doing it? And people don't understand.
And it
my parents don't understand. I talked to
Yeah.
my parents about it. They're like, you like doing it. You like doing what you're doing. I say, I like doing it. I don't love every single moment of it.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are like, well, what you're doing, so I would like what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you probably would. So do I.
Yeah. And most people are like, oh, well, you're not going to love everything about your job.
Who says who?
But you can.
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I walk in to teach every day and I love every single moment of it. And I walk out of there and I love what I just did. I love that I was able to help people feel strong in their bodies. I love that I was able to help people cultivate some body awareness. I love that I was able to help somebody just move for the day. And that is rewarding. And I don't walk into work like, ugh, how many hours do I have to spend here?
Because then you're living in time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you love every moment of your day, when you love every moment of your existence, you're existing outside of time.
Mm-hmm. And that's really where the magic happens.
It's where we take quantum leaps.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause when you're outside of time, time's moving through you.
And that's when those delusional things start to become reality.
When you can fall in love with the things that you're doing, that's when all these opportunities open up.
Mm-hmm.
It's when all of these opportunities open up because you attract what you are. And when you are love, you're attracting that into your life.
And that's exactly what we've been seeing in our own lives. Yes, it's delusional, but it's also real.
Yeah. And there's I have friends who were like calling me crazy a year ago, 12 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in a year they've seen what I've been able to do and I've earned their respect, which is great.
Yeah.
which I value. You know, which I value because it does sound delusional to most people when I say, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to get a fucking job.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work for myself." That sounds crazy. And then now I've been able to do it for a year, and I didn't have to give in, and I'll never give in to go work for a corporate machine and slave away for somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
Like I told you yesterday, I had to go into that walk-in clinic, and the nurse sat me down, and the nurse looked at me and said, "How was your day?" And I said, "I'm having a great morning. How was yours?" She said, "Living the dream, or at least somebody else's. At least somebody else's dream."
And she is.
Do I want to live and be just a piece in somebody else's dream? Surely I will be at some point. But that's not my purpose.
And then you're neglecting your own dream.
You can't neglect what you envision yourself to be capable of in life.
Yeah. And and don't let the outside noise affect it. Because I feel like when we were coming out of like college grad, post grad, a year out, 2 years out, and it's like, okay, a year out, like everyone's figuring it out, right? And then it's like, okay, but after a year, like most people they're figuring it out. They're getting jobs, like people know what's going on. And I was in the position where everyone was figuring it out, and everyone was getting their job, and they were getting their corporate 9 to 5, and you were starting your business, and you were reaping the success from it. And I was still like, shit, I'm just writing a book. And I didn't even really know what that meant at the time, or what I was going to do with it, or if I was going to publish it. But I just let my delusion guide the way of, I'm not giving in. I'm not getting a job. I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to embrace whatever comes from it. And I didn't give in. I gave in a couple times. There were a couple times where I took like little petty, like minimum wage jobs, because I was feeling like, do I need a job? I was feeling the pressure of the world, like shit, like I don't have a job and I just graduated college. Like, do I need to get a job? And the universe over and over and over again was like, no. Like all those petty jobs I got, they lasted a week. They lasted a month. They were immediately removed from my timeline because that's not the direction that I was supposed to go in.
How do you feel now about it?
I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for all those jobs that I took. I'm grateful that I was working at a gymnastics place for $17 an hour. I'm grateful that the owner was a lunatic and creeped me out and I quit. I'm grateful for all of those moments, because I would not have kept writing the book. I would not have published the book. And through writing the book and through publishing the book allowed me to have the freedom to be introduced to an international Pilates studio, to which I joined their apprentice program. And that has changed my life. And I wrote a book and I published the book, and people read my book and people love my book, and that brings me joy. And I get to teach Pilates every single day to people who I love dearly. So I'm happy.
It all started with delusion. So I guess our advice for the day is
go be delusional. Go be delusional. Or if you don't have any dreams that you can think of right now, figure it out. What are your dreams? And they don't have to be like, I want to perform at Madison Square Garden. They can be, but it starts small. Because my dreams, having not had any dreams, started really small before they got really big. So your dream can look like anything. Your dream can be to not commute an hour to work. That could be a dream. Start small. and then go perform at Madison Square Garden.
That's it, baby.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, we got all sorts of great discussions about consciousness, self-realization, reality creation, and all good things.
Yeah.
So this is an epic discussion.
Yeah.
We have good talks. I enjoy talking to you.
Me as well. And I enjoy watching our delusion unfold into a really beautiful life.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be beautiful to see. And it'll be beautiful when we get to look back at these in 20 years.
Yeah.
Look how delusional we can get.
Yeah, and it'll be beautiful for you guys to come along for the ride and watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ruby's barking. We got to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Dog's
We're
barking.
out. Thank you. We love you.